How's it going, trainers, and welcome to another Pokemon Go PvP video. Today we are talking about the Boulder Cup and about team composition. So looking at my 7 that I'm looking at right now, first we'll start with Medicham with Counter, Ice Punch, and Power Up Punch. As I've stated previously, it's a staple. The next staple being Skarmory with Air Slash, Sky Attack, and Flash Cannon. Medicham previously gives us coverage against Bastiodon and Swampert, whereas Skarmory will give us coverage against things like Gallade, Torterra, and occasionally Bronzong in the right shield scenario. Next Pokemon that made it on my list is Bronzong with Confusion, Psyshock, and Bulldoze. Bronzong is great against Medicham and 2 shields, just because you could wear down Medicham's shields and only have to use 1. It's great against Gallade. It's good against Bastiodon thanks to the Bulldoze, and it's pretty good against Torterra as well. Moving on, Swampert. Swampert with Mudshot, Hydro Cannon, and Earthquake. Swampert is great against Skarmory. It's great against Bastiodon, Gallade, Bronzong, and Fortress even. Its really only big weaknesses are especially Torterra and Medicham. But one thing to note about Swampert is it's really glassy, but that Hydro Cannon comes so quick and it makes everyone else look glassy. Moving on, Torterra with Razor Leaf, Earthquake, and Stone Edge. Why I like Torterra is because in the 2 shield scenario against Medicham, with both of us having 2 shields, Torterra has the upper hand. Torterra is a great, extremely hard counter to Swampert. And it does great against Gallade too. Gallade can't really touch it. And it's also good against Bastiodon. It does have to watch out for Medicham. If Medicham has shield advantage, Fortress will destroy it. And it has to watch out for Skarmory even too. So the next 2 I'm kind of stuck between is Gallade and Bastiodon. Let's take a look at Bastiodon first. Bastiodon with Smackdown, Stone Edge, and Flamethrower. Bastiodon is great against Skarmory and Gallade, but it has key weaknesses when it comes to Medicham, Swampert, Bronzong, and Torterra. So I'm trying to find a good team comp with it, but it's really hard to make work out so far. Gallade with Confusion, Close Combat, and Leaf Blade, and that new move, Synchronize, that's coming out for Community Day tomorrow from the recording of this video. I don't know if I'm going to want it. I really like Leaf Blade, Close Combat. In the playtesting that you're about to see, you'll see that I was running Charm on my Gallade, and I've actually opted for Confusion. Confusion has better overall coverage, whereas Charm does beat what it's supposed to beat even harder. Confusion still beats those same things, but allows you to have a more widespread coverage. It's great against Medicham, and just like Torterra, it does great in the 2 shield scenario, and it does great with shield advantage. However, it has a lot of weaknesses as well, much like my predicament with Bastiodon. Gallade needs to watch out for Skarmory, Swampert, Bronzong, Torterra, Fortress, and Bastiodon itself. It's really great for Medicham and just general, but other than that, it's just between Gallade and Bastiodon. I'm trying to find a good team comp for both of them, a good place. So these games are serving for my decision making. So with all that said and done, let's go ahead and move into some battles and see what we can do. So starting things off, we're going to go ahead and lead with our Swampert, and we're going to walk right into a mirror match Swampert. So in this mirror match, much like others, it's all about who gives up the shields. So we're going to go straight for the Hydro Cannon, and as you can see, we missed a lot of bubbles, which is key. Luckily she blocked it, and we're going to block hers in response, keep it even shielded. And we're going to get to another Hydro Cannon. See if we can do better this time. And we get an excellent, don't miss a single one. That is more like it. And she lets it go, of course. And she's in the red. We're going to block and try to get the health advantage rather than the shield advantage. Now we go ahead and go for the Hydro Cannon because we fear that she's going to get hers right before she dies. And I think she would have. So we top her off. She has a 1 shield advantage, but we have almost a full health Swampert. She brings in the Skarmory, and we are going to get a Hydro Cannon right away. See what we can do. Miss a couple bubbles. Takes her to almost half health. If we would have got that excellent, it would have been half. And she's going to finish us with Sky Attack, if not just barely. She does finish us because of Swampert's glassiness, and we bring in our Skarmory and opt for the mirror match. And go for the Sky Attack. And do horrible with the bubbles once again, missing the first two. But she blocks it, we take her last shield. And she's going to come in with a Flash Cannon, which is really going to hurt. But we're going to get to another Sky Attack before she can get to anything else. And top her off after we miss a couple bubbles, of course. And we're going to finish that off, and then here comes a Medicham. And we are trying to get to a Sky Attack before we get hit, but she gets to a Power-Up Punch. And it's going to finish off our Skarmory before we get a chance to get some super effective damage on that Medicham. But we have our Medicham left, and I mean, this is a win-win. I mean, full health versus a half health, it's already over. So power up, punch it away. Boom. Don't even get an excellent on that. And I cannot over-exaggerate how much you need to practice with these new bubble system. This mini-game thing. It's you gotta learn to poke. Look at that. Look at all those bubbles missed. Oof. Practice, 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 guys. But we take that game and move on to the next one. So going into the next one, we're gonna go ahead with lead with Medicham this time, see what we can do, and we walk into a mirror match Medicham. So we're just gonna do the best we can. This comes down to IVs. She's gonna get to her power-up punch first, and that's fine. We're just gonna respond right back with ours, and hope we hit all the bubbles. And we do. So that's great. Keep going. Power-up punch. Keep noted, guys, that never, ever, ever shield the first power-up punch, because that is going to be the weakest power-up punch. We're going to go ahead and take that second one and get to our second with the next one as well. And she doesn't shield it either. And now we're both racing for that ice punch more than likely, but I go for the power-up punch. And I decide not to shield and go ahead and give her it. She goes for the ice punch, so she gave up more energy, and we're going to finish it off with our Charm Gallade. Charm Gallade, however, has no other positive matchup likeliness, and Torterra's going to come in and rip it apart. We're going to switch to Swampert out of basically panic and just get destroyed, and we are going to get wrecked by this Torterra. Just absolutely wrecked. We're going to shield whatever's coming, I guess, again out of desperation, but it's already over. GG's. So going into Game 3, we're going to go ahead and try leading with Medicham again, but instead of having Gallade in the team comp, we're going to put Skarmory in there for that Torterra problem. And she leads with that Torterra right away. She really liked what it did. And we are in a bad matchup, so we're going to try to overcome a positive lead and go with that Ice Punch right away. We get the excellent, great job, and she shields it. So we're racing for a power-up punch, but we go for the Ice Punch. We make it. We hope we don't get a shield again, and she thinks it's a power-up punch. She blocks both. My god, but that's alright. We burned both shields and conserved both of ours, and we got our Skarmory. We're going to block this because it's going to be a Stone Edge or an Earthquake, and either are going to hurt. Stone Edge is going to hurt. And we're going to finish her off with fast attacks and hope that we have another positive matchup for our Skarmory. A Medicham, awesome. So we're going to Sky Attack on that right away for some super effective damage. And we miss a couple of bubbles at the beginning, and it goes through because she has no shields left. That's fantastic. She's going to get to a power-up punch, no problem. And we're going to finish it off with fast attacks. Wait, she switches, and we decide to switch, but then we stay in. And we're going to Flash Cannon this shieldless team. Boom. And just finish it off with everything we can. We get to an additional Sky Attack. Get it almost to the red and let her finish us off. She farmed a little bit there, so we're expecting it. We're going to go ahead and shield since it's our last Pokemon. We know we just got that Medicham in the back, so we're going to finish this off as fast as we can. She gets to another Sky Attack, presumably. That it is. And she has us to about half health, and we're panicking a little bit. And we choose to go for the Hydro Cannon right before finishing off that Skarmory out of fear. But luckily, this Medicham in the back just has one hit to go, and we did overcome that negative lead. Fantastic, guys. So going to the next set of matches, we're going to go ahead and lead with Bronzong, get a little bit of time to shine, especially since she likes leading with Torterra lately. So we'll see what we can do. We walk into the Swampert, which is kind of a bad matchup because those Hydro Cannons come so fast and can burn our shields. But as you can see, so we're going to lose a shield, and you can see that her Mudshot damage compared to our Confusion damage is actually doing just about as much, if not a little bit more. And man, did I not know you got to go counterclockwise with those Psychic Animation. I'm clearly going clockwise, but we land the Psyshock, and it almost kills her, but she lands her Hydro Cannon and almost kills us. We finish her off. We're hoping to get a Psyshock on whatever comes. Come on, come on, come on. Get to the Psyshock. Get to the Psyshock. We get to it. There we go. Hope to we get some chip damage, and we just take a shield. That's fine. It's totally cool with us. So we're going to go ahead and come in with our Swampert, which is an okay matchup, but she has a Sky Attack right away. Now remember that Swampert is pretty glassy to just about everything. As you can see, a Sky Attack against a Water Ground type does half damage. So we're going to get that Hydro Cannon. It's going to land, get her about where we are, get to another Hydro Cannon before she could get to a Sky Attack, try to finish off this Skarmory, because it will be a problem for our Medicham in the back, but she shields. So we decide to shield because we're confident we can get to another Hydro Cannon before she can get to a Sky Attack. And that we do. We do not want that Skarmory with a prepared Sky Attack against our Medicham. Finish it off. There's her Medicham. But here's the problem with Soul Scenario, is she got a fast counter move off on our Swampert. So she has just a little bit more energy than us in an even matchup. So despite the difference in IVs, she's going to win this. She was out first. She had the little bit of energy advantage. It's already over. We can do everything we can. We're trying to power up punch the correct way and then build our way up to an ice punch, but she's doing the exact same thing. All we can hope for her is to skip a power up punch in the beginning and go for an ice punch, but she does the correct procedure just like we do, and therefore she is going to win this matchup right here and now. GG's. So, looking into the next matchup, we're going to go ahead and lead with Bronzong again, but this time we're going to take Swampert out because of its glassiness and add Torterra and see what we can do with it. We get a Bronzong versus Medicham lead, and that's alright. That's a pretty good lead. The good thing about this lead is we could usually only give up one shield, as you're about to see. So we go out, take the power-up punch, we get our Psyshock, and the chances are she's going to double shield, and she's going to need to if she doesn't want to die. So we get the first shield, and we still haven't shielded. So now this power-up punch comes in, we shield. So now we've both given up one shield, but I am going to get to a Psyshock, hopefully before she gets to a power-up punch. But here's where it comes down to IVs. If I had slightly better IVs, I would have got that Psyshock. So come in and top this Medicham off with my Torterra. Let her land it, even though it could have been an ice punch, and it is. Oh my gosh. Bye-bye, Torterra. Finish off her Medicham with ours. Walk into a Torterra. And this is not good. This is not good at all. So we do everything we can. We power up punch. It does decent damage, but we're in an even shield scenario. Bad. And do we get the excellent? Nope, we don't even get the excellent. We take her last shield, and she's going to finish us off with fast move damage. GG's. Torterra, you gotta acknowledge its greatness. Honestly, it's pretty great in this cup. We're going to lead with Medicham in this game. We're going to go Skarmory in the middle and Swampert in the back. She leads with her Torterra, so we hard switch to Skarmory, and she hard switches to her Swampert. That's okay, though, because we have a Sky Attack right away. And as we know, Swampert is glassy, so she's going to have to shield. We choose to shield because we know how much Hydro Cannon is going to do to us. And try to just make this an even game scenario despite the bad lead. She's going to get to her Hydro Cannon. We're going to let it land this time in hopes that she lets the Sky Attack land. Now we are aware this is only going to get her into the red. And she could get to another Hydro Cannon, but she doesn't. Thank goodness. And here comes a Steelix, so we are going to try to switch, and we do, to our Swampert. And looking back at this game, I really think we should have probably, should have went to Medicham and just farmed the whole way, but those crunches could hurt. She comes in with her Torterra that we know she had, and we have a Hydro Cannon coming in on it. She shields it at least, so we get a shield out of it. We try to get to a Hydro Cannon, but there's no chance. We come into our Skarmory with an immediate Sky Attack. And we land it and finish off that Torterra. And now we have our Skarmory versus Steelix, who's already almost dead. She uses Charge Move. It's fantastic because we have our Medicham. And Medicham truly is the king of the Boulder Cup. She's going to get that crunch. We're a bit scared. It does half damage. I really expected it to do more. And we are going to get to our power-up punch. We don't get the excellent. If we would have, it would have finished her. Really wish we could have, but we still get her just barely, luckily. We got to work on the bubbles, guys. Going into the next game, we're going to lead with Bronzong, and we walk into a Torterra, and that's a pretty decent matchup. She's going to have to give up more shields than we are in this scenario. So we're going to get to a Psyshock. And we're going to miss a whole lot of bubbles. This is oof. To another Psyshock, but she gets to her presumably Stone Edge, which is probably an Earthquake, actually. And it is, so we block it. And Then we're going to get our Side Shock off. See if we can get more bubbles. Jesus. That was horrible. We get it, despite the fact she comes in with her Bronzong. We're going to try to get to a Side Shock before we die, but we cannot do it. We are going to come in with our Swampert. Swampert has a fantastic matchup against this. The Side Shocks will hit hard, but if we could just hit all the bubbles on our Hydro Cannon, we'll do a good amount of damage. But she blocks it. We decide to block. We know we're going to get to another Hydro Cannon, and she Flash Cannons. So that's going to give us more of an opportunity to get to a Hydro Cannon and get some extra energy behind it. We get the Excellent. We show her how it's done with the bubbles finally, and finish off that Bronzong. She comes in with her Medicham, and we have a Hydro Cannon ready and waiting, and fire it right away, and back-to-back Excellence. Finally, here we go. Get her to half health, and she's going to come in. We have no shields, but that's fine. We don't need this anymore. And we're going to come in with our Medicham. And this is already over, as we have explained. We have full health Medicham. She has an in the red Medicham. She'll do everything she can. She'll power up punch, but we're just going to top her off with the nice punch now and miss a whole lot of bubbles. But still get the Excellent. And that'll be GG's. So going into the 8th game of this set of matches, we're going to go ahead and try to leave it Torterra, get it a positive matchup, and we do. It's a fantastic matchup. We expect her to switch, which would be just great, but we're going to sit on this, and so does she. So this is going to be a power-up punch right away. We're going to take it, and that's kind of a mistake right there. In this scenario, with this kind of lead, you want to shield it and preserve it. So because we didn't shield and let that power-up punch hit, this is already a lost game in the sense of this matchup. So she's going to come out of this with a win and a charged up Medicham ready to hit something, as you can see. And it takes our last shield. I don't know why we shielded this, honestly. I guess we were kind of afraid of an ice punch since she already had a couple power-up punches in. And we are going to go for our power-up punch right away. Try to turn this around now that we screwed up our lead. Get the power-up punch. We have no shields, guys. We try to get that ice punch in, and we do. Guess we're going to either take her last shield or finish her, and we get that last shield. Try to get to the power-up punch, and we just miss it. That's fine. She's going to finish this off with the Stone Edge. At least we took her energy, and we come in with our Bastiodon and top it off. Give Bastiodon a chance, and this is how it ends. Bastiodon against Probopass. Flamethrower is going to do some okay damage, about as much as what it's going to do to us with this Rock Slide, but we have nothing more that we can really do, and she's going to find out real quick that Probopass has the real upper hand on this eventually. So she is going to get to a move faster than we are, first of all, with Magnet Bomb, which does a good amount of damage considering we're Steel as well. We go ahead and test out the Stone Edge, see what it could do, because we haven't really been in this matchup before. And we do alright damage. It's about the same as what Flamethrower would have done, just for a little bit more energy. So there comes another Magnet Bomb, and we know she's going to get to another Magnet Bomb or finish us off with fast moves before we can get to anything. She gets to another Rock Slide, and that'll be a GG. So going into the 9th and final match, I cannot express how big this bubble scenario game is now. You can't have these bubble problems. It could lose you everything. We're going to lead with Skarmory, walk right into another Skarmory, and we're going to go ahead and charge up to that Flash Cannon, and we're expecting her to have her Flash Cannon. We're going to let it land, and we're going to go for our Flash Cannon. See if she shields. We can see how the tone of the game is going to be, and she doesn't, so this is a neutral scenario. We go for the Sky Attack right away, and she goes into a Probopass, and that is not very good for us. That was a really excellent switch. She took our energy. We're going to go ahead and do our switch, and we go with Swampert because we want to preserve that Medicham in the back and get some good matchups, even though this would have been a great matchup, but this is a great matchup for Swampert as well. She blocks that Hydro Cannon. We are going to block this. Boom, boom, boom. The only reason we blocked it is because Swampert is so glassy, as I've already said. We land that Hydro Cannon, take her out. She comes in with the Skarmory. We're going to let this go. We know it's only going to take half health, and we know we could get to another Hydro Cannon before she could get to her Sky Attack. So either she's going to have to give up her last shield or accept the death of the Skarmory. She gives up her last shield. We got the shield advantage. We try to get to another Hydro Cannon. We decide to shield because we want to win this matchup because Medicham is in the back there. Finish her off the Hydro Cannon. So we have a partly energy Swampert and our Medicham and Skarmory. So Skarmory is going to come in against her Medicham. We expect a power-up punch. And there it is. Trying to get to a sky attack, but we die and we just miss it. So this is going to be a tight one. We have a Metacham with full health against a Metacham with just a little over half health, but she is about 2 power-up punches in, so she's doing a good decent amount more damage than we are per counter. But we're going to get our power-up punch in there. Try to build up. So now we're in a scenario where like we just need to get to the ice punch before she can get to 2 power-up punches. She goes for the ice punch, and now it's like whoever gets to the power-up punch first wins. I go for the ballsy move and go for the ice punch. I should have just went for power-up punch, but the ice punch is going to finish her off and finish this game. So that's about it for the Boulder Cup. I have my Boulder Cup this Sunday, and then we'll post the footage of that and start moving on to the Twilight Cup. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and you have a great day. Bye.